One Piece chapter 1098, and oh my goodness, does it get even more sad and depressing than what it really is? And oh my goodness, I know I'm like 4 chapters behind, but it doesn't matter. Of course not. Well, let's get straight into it because it's about to get even more dramatic and sad and depressing. Now, where we actually left off from chapter 1097 going to 98, the Revolutionary Army, including Kuma, discovered that Genie has been captured by Celestial Dragon, and we all know how scummy they sorry asses are, and we all know that we should really get rid of them. But the chapter starts off where the revolutionary is requesting a backup support, which Kuma volunteers to go help him to be that backup. And let me just tell you, when he rocket ships towards their location like Superman coming down from the air to the ground, and oh my goodness, this man is on a mission. And oh goodness, it just shows Jenny's been captured. Yes sir. It seems she caught the eye of a celestial dragon. Really, oh man, that's the worst. Ooh, good. That's the worst time for you to get captured by is seeing a celestial dragon on the street, and then he saw you instantly. No, they took her on a government ship because the celestial dragon wanted to make her his bride. Again, we all know how scummy they are and what they do behind the scenes. It's a shame, but it shows we won finally after 3 years of struggle. We couldn't have done it without the Revolutionary Army. Wow. The enemy took us by surprise is where we left off for 1097, guys. And oh my goodness. Dragon wanted to stop Kuma. And I understand why too. He wanted to stop Kuma for storming the Celestial Dragon's base, Mirijois as we are. But at that point, the revolutionary back then didn't have enough rally troops or army or connections back then, which if they had, they would Dragon would have stormed that Wolves would storm Mirijois a long time ago. Besides, they needed information, they needed supplies, they needed more time, more people, more money, everything to storm the Mirijois. They needed all of that. And I'm glad that Dragon stopped them, because if Kuma actually went up there, he would have encountered God's Knights. He would have encountered, well, we all definitely know how strong the world government is now. I mean, you seen the forms of the elders up there, boy, especially I was gonna say Saint Charles. Ain't no one care about that. Saint Garcia. We all know how strong his ass is, and oh my goodness, literal demon, all 5 of them. Anyways, next. 2 years has passed, and Genie contacts Kuma through the line, and they discuss, say, hey, Kumachi, I finally made it back to the surface. And everybody's shocked, said, Genie, she speaks and says, they didn't want me around after I got sick. I was thrown away, which we all know celestial dragons up there. Anyways, what a stroke of luck. And by the sound of her voice, Kuma picks up on how Genie's feeling, and he says, you're sick. Which I if you remember, if the celestial dragons has a wife that's sick, they throw them out. If they're not healthy, not all caught disease, they throw them out because they don't want that up there. They consider that, let's just say, unsanitary. I wanted to see everyone one last time. And this is what gets dark. And Kuma says, but this call will be our goodbye. Or that's what Genie says, until Kuma speaks up. What are you talking about, Genie? Where are you? I can be there in an instant. I was afraid I'd never see you again. And let's be honest, Kuma to place with his Delphin, but it would take like a certain amount of days to even, or hours to get there. Though, if he was like a shorter distance, wherever she is, he can get there like probably an hour, 2 hours, mad tops. But if it's like far away, then Jesus Christ, that's gonna take a day. Man, seeing her, oh goodness. And when she's before she says her final moments, and she just lets passed on. By the time Kuma gets there, passes on. And oh my goodness, it was I don't know, bro. It's see the way it's gotten this dark from 97 to 98. I kind of knew where this was going in this direction when Jenny got captured, but I didn't know what the extent. I didn't know it was a celestial dragon that got in her. I thought she was just got captured by the enemy or the Marines, but for a celestial dragon to get to her, that's that adds fuel to the fire. That just means that dragon has one more thing to add to that list. It's a oh boy, that's one more ass whooping to that list. You just keep digging that hole even deeper. Anyway, Kumachi has a big heart. Please take care of him for me. And Kumachi, I just want you to know I love you. And that's her last message. And Kuma, at that point, before you heard what was her final message, dips out, rockets towards where her location is, and he dead on knew where she was. But to get there took longer than he expected. Because from where he's at to where that would take a long time. I forgot what somebody said. I think it was 3 days from where he is at to get to where Genie is at, which in fact it was at the church where Kuma, where he first got to, him and Jenny escaped to after all that hunting business on that damn Gaza, wherever the hell that was. Anyways, I love you. I always have and always will. Gotcha. And man, I'm glad Oda didn't show all this, because this would enrage me to the point like, what the hell is this? Ain't no way that this chapter broke my heart like this. And Kuma sees her Jenny. Let me just tell you, it was her face, her entire body. It turned all blue in the sun, and her skin hardened like a stone. You can actually tell it was her hand that only showed, but also showed when she was contacting Kuma and the rest. It was Jenny. Couldn't tell, but it was Jenny. Her leg, it was sad to see, and Kuma broke down. And this is where Jenny passed on. But she also left Bonnie, her daughter, which we all know. Let me just be off track for a minute. We all know what happened to Jenny, right? We all know what happens when a celestial dragon sees someone pretty enough to mesmerize them, fantasize for a woman. What does that mean? Oh, that's an instant wife material right there. Grab her. Oh wait, is that one's too beautiful? Too beautiful for that man. Grab her. What ends up happening? We all know the end result. And when I saw this chapter, I wanted to. If I was Kuma, I was nothing. Oh goodness! But at that time, the government was too powerful, and I understand dragons reason behind it. But man, that's just something Dragon has to add on to that list to tear down the Terabito system or Celestial Dragon system. Because this has to go immediately. Oh, and then Kuma sees the baby. You can rest now, Jenny. I swear I will raise her well. And Kuma just sits at Jenny's grave. And then, later on, a commotion in the church says, "That's all wrong, you're tilting the bottle too much." And Kuma just, as a father, takes care of his child, which is Bonnie. And man, this is such a sad chapter. You can also tell too. And then cut in, I would say 2 years later, 5 years later, you see Jenny standing, talking to, and then while also handling his revolutionary skills, well, not skills, but duties of revolutionary. You see Kuma fighting and then rescuing his comrades, while also raising Bonnie too at that moment too. So you gotta remember that too. And then at that time you see Sabo too. So yeah, Kuma met Sabo. And then what in the world are you doing? You've boarded up all the church's windows. Close, and Kuma says, close the door. And we all find out she has the same sickness as her mother, Jeannie, did. Kuma said, take a look here below her eye. Is that a blue stone? Hey, isn't that? And it looks like just what Jeannie had at the end. I'll call her a doctor. Thank you. So we won't know what's going to happen though. But closing the window, not letting her go outside, not letting the sunlight get to her, that will apparently slow down the process of I forgot what was that scale. I think it was sapphire scale disease. That will slow down the process. Then they get a doctor. Several doctors help her, and oh my goodness, that's just it was just lame. Duh, they're useless. Useless! And now, Kuma, you're quitting the Revolution Army. What? Bunny's contracted the same disease as her mother? And Kuma says, yes. I don't know if it's the right thing to do, but I have to stay by her side. And Dragon completely understands. And I understand it's important to live without regrets. We can use our contest to reach out to doctors all over the world for her. I owe you, Dragon. And Dragon completely understands. I mean, after all Kuma's done, that just show you Dragon is willing to do anything in his power to help out his comrades. After Genie's death, I think that kind of motivated him for a bit. Now coming back to 7 years ago when Bonnie was 5. And she just, boy, going ham punish, boy. Jenny. Kuma tells, please, you can't go outside. Even standing near the doorway can give you the ouchies. Which, if you remember, Bonnie can't go outside, and she's 5 years old. She still got the sapphire scales disease. And if that light touch her, that would increase the encroachment of those purple scales, or blue scales, I think. But Kuma knows this, and he's such a doting father. We all know that. Those jerks, they made fun of my face stones again. And this is where her title as of now, current storyline, where she gets her pirate name. You mean your jewels. And that's where her name is Julie Bonnie. You think so? You betcha I love them. And man, oh man. Years passed, several things passed, and Kuma, or Bonnie, says it's close to the sun, so maybe we'll see Nika up there. You love that, right, Dad? And he just does the dance that his dad did back then, and he says that sounds like a grand adventure. We can go there to have a big celebration for your 20th birthday. Where should we go for your 19th? Fishman Island. And boy, oh boy. And remember what I said about those doctors? One did say, and I was right, it was sapphire scale. And it's incurable. Which I was like, oh, well, there goes another. There goes the daughter, unfortunately. And then when Kuma found out this, how much time she has left, she has 5 years left. And she's currently 5 years old. So the next 5 years, 10th birthday, she'll be dead. And man, Kuma says, this isn't fair. She's already growing to such a strong woman. Is there really no cure? And boy, Bonnie was just slightly listening in. Or yeah, she was listening in. And Kuma really thought she was asleep, but boy, she heard, oh well, she didn't hear about the dying part. All she heard was her getting better by her 10th birthday. She says, I heard it all. You said it will be over by my 10th birthday, right? Your 10th? I have no idea what you're talking about. And Kuma, I'm sorry, man, just give it up, bro. I mean, at least she didn't hear the dying part. What's happened to her when she has those scales. What actually happens when she has those scales. Or what happened to her mother, that is. I mean, boy. Those doctors can be such a oh, they're useless, like I said. And Kuma, so of course, by the time you turn 10, you'll be cured. And the thought goes through Kuma's mind, what am I going to do? And then 1 year later, a familiar nightmare would soon descend on the kingdom of Sorbet. Only 1 year later, Kuma, you got to save us. King Borkori has returned and he's just as monstrous as ever. It's just like 16 years ago. He still wants to cut loose the country's dead weight. He's going to burn the people in their homes. The never-ending tragedy continues to unfold. Man. Okay, so let me just say this. Never expected this to go south. And what I mean by going south, shit just hit the window. I'm just gonna say this. Now Kuma has to find a cure and find a way to stall for time for that cure, for that disease. So in between traveling to find his cure and spending time with Bonnie, he might have to just find a way to make some time, because right now 5 years, that's his deadline. Her 10th birthday is her deadline right now. And to top it all off, you got this King Bakuri started to do some heinous ass shit. That's gonna, oh boy. Anyways, hopefully, what's your guys' opinion about this chapter? Cause oh my goodness, it was sad enough just to see Jenny go and Celestial Dragon. Like I said, this is just adding another list to deaths to Celestial Dragons. More reason. Just ablaze Dragon Soul once more. Oh goodness, sad chapter today. Sad chapter. Anyways. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. And comment down below if you think Jenny didn't deserve to die like that. Didn't deserve to go out like this. Because I sure hell didn't expect her to go out like this. I thought she was just got kidnapped and imprisoned by a Marine. Well, for a Celestial Dragon to see her first? Oh boy. Anyways, see you again and see you next video.